We know whatever is happening in this country, whereby things are really tough and hard, and we are waiting for the things to be better. We've been looking at the politicians, expecting them to be better, to do things that we want, but the politicians have never done something good for us to develop. And so today, we still are waiting for them to change, to make sure that Malawians feel better. Do the politicians really understand that Malawians always want to get better? Do the politicians really realize that if we don't develop today, we'll never be developed anymore? So we have got opportunity today as we are a peaceful nation, so that we can use our peace to develop. So if you're stealing, stop stealing. If you're a politician, if you've been lying, stop lying. We need this country to move forward, and we can only move forward if we work together and begin to head our current situation. Conditions of Malawians today is not fine. Malawians are passing through a lot, and it is a painful reality to experience difficulties the way we experience them. We can do better. I see the nation of Malawi getting better if we really work very hard. If politicians can stop stealing, the nation will be better. But the problem with the country of Malawi is that we are having politicians who are enjoying stealing the resources that we have in this country. If, for example, if a politician today is very poor, tomorrow, because he's in the government, he will be very rich. And is this what we want? No, we don't want that thing. We want at least to build our own economy, to make sure that the nation develops, and as Malawians, we can get better and become prosperous. It is possible. Nobody else will be better in this country if we don't work very hard to change the situation in which we are. Today, Malawi is a country which is very sad in terms of living conditions, because Malawians are really poor, and so nothing is good in this nation. But we can do better to change of this situation. It is possible. We have to understand that Malawi can change and can transform, and lives of the people can get better if we really begin to know what we really need to do. Are we supposed to be poor forever? And this is whatever is making us have joy, like that we are really enjoying getting poorer every day, as if things are not changing, and therefore it makes us feel proud. No, we need to hate whatever is giving us kind of bad reputation in terms of development as a nation. And as people are looking at us and say it's the poorest country, I think we should not be happy to be called the poorest country. Therefore, let's fight against this thing. We can change this current status of our nation to say that our nation is no longer the poorest nation, but it is a rich nation now. How has it been transformed to become a rich nation? We've decided to work. We decided to come together and begin to carry out works which are going to build this economy to become the strong economy. The nations that are developed today, they were once poor, but they made a decision. We don't want to be very poor anymore. We wanted to change our situation, so they started working very hard together. But in Malawi today, we're not working together. The money that people are using just to get themselves rich is the money that is coming from the government, and the government is our own money as people in this country. So only few individuals should not enjoy the money that is meant for everyone else in this country, because this money is made from the Malawian taxes and resources. What are you doing with this money? You're abusing and using this money to become your own money, making Malawi poor again. But so we said, no, we wanted to use our resources so that everybody else can benefit in this nation. A woman, a boy, a girl, everybody else to benefit and enjoy living in this country. It is possible. Why are we suffering, passing through whatever we're passing through? It's because the politicians are so greedy. They want to become rich by themselves, forgetting about us as ordinary people. So we are hearing about the stories that Professor Peter Muntharika is going to change this nation, as he is going to be sworn in as the president of this country tomorrow. And now we believe that if the 5-year term that Professor Peter Muntharika has is going to be the good testing moment, whereby we can see if leader politicians can do whatever they say. We voted for Professor Peter Muntharika in 2014, and he became the president. He ruled Malawi, and a lot of things happened. It's a mixed bag, and today we are what we are because of the past. Because I should tell you that Malawi is what it is because of the foundation, the past history of Malawi. What decision did we make in the past which has contributed to what we are today? So Professor Peter Muntharika is going to be the president from 2025, as he's been elected as the president of this country up to 30. Now, he must know that Malawi's leaders are expecting a lot of things from him. He's going to manage to provide things that Malawians are looking for. It's going to be a very bad time for Professor Peter Muntharika. It's a challenge, because Malawians have got a lot of hope in him, but is he really prepared to provide the solution, or out of experience of the president, can he do better? Because just changing the economy to become kind of stable economy does not mean that the problems that people are having are going to be over. No, still people are going to have the problems. Maybe the economy is going to be stabilized. That's okay. We can rule that fact out. But what I'm saying is, Malawians really want to improve, to have the highest living standard. Actually, we need to get to the point whereby in this country we are economically equal. We are all benefiting from the resources that we have, and we are all having equal access in this nation so that everybody else should have opportunities. It doesn't matter you're educated or not educated. It doesn't matter you are a woman or not a woman. It doesn't matter you're a politician or not a politician. It doesn't matter you come from a rich family or not a rich family. But opportunities must be equal in this country. So we must all be using those opportunities so that we can grow together and become rich together. That's the best economy. Excuse me. That's the best economy. So if we cannot reach that level whereby economy, everybody else is enjoying it in this country, irrespective of race, irrespective of education background, irrespective of sex and whatever gender, if we can be working together and develop together, that's the best thing. So is Muntharika prepared for that? I don't think he's prepared to improve the living standards of Malawians equally. But what is prepared as a president, I think is going to be emphasizing on the stabilizing the economy, at least fixing the problems that have been there for the past 5 years. I think that's the challenging job he's got. But I'm told that he's got the team which is aware of the problems and they've actually been studying our economy, and they are prepared to come up with strategies which are going to handle the issues of the economy in this country. I think that team is capable enough. I think Professor Muntharika spoke about that before. So we're going to see if really the team that he's having is going to do some kind of miracle in this economy of Malawi, which is collapsed already, and the economy is failing to pick up. But I believe that as a country, we can pick up. But what is the problem that we are not developing individually in this country? Because we need to develop, like not individually, like Malawians collectively. Are we developing collectively? Are we really changing? Are we really improving? There is indeed the increase in the living standard of the people in this country in terms of getting higher income, like people are enjoying, the benefiting, the economy is okay, everybody else is happy living in this country. Do we have that's such kind of situation in this nation? It's not there. So we're yet to see if Professor Muntharika is going to be the man people are going to like. But I know he's going to do something good for this nation. We need to have a better economy. We need to have the better country. It is possible we can have the better country and the better economy. Why should we be suffering and going through problems like this? Like every day we should be suffering and be talking about the same problems. Why can't we change actually if the country from Malawi is failing to develop? It is because people in this country somehow, somewhere are taken for granted, because you can see that the individuals who are getting better, they're getting rich in this country, but there are also people who are getting poor in this nation. It's the same nation. So that the gap between the rich and the poor is getting widened. Why some people don't want to share the wealth with other people? And there's no that system put in place in this country which can help to take money from the rich people and distribute it to the poor people. I just think we will be looking forward to the situation whereby we can reach an equilibrium of wealth distribution in this country, whereby everybody else is happy living in this country with equal chances and opportunities of living in this country and enjoying our resources together without problems. If we reach that level, that's paid off. But can we reach that level with the current economic situation and political environment that we're having, whereby people are fighting for positions and money instead of fighting for the better welfare of the people? I doubt. But which country in Africa is doing very well by making sure that people have got better living standard in Africa? I have no idea if South Africa is making sure that each and every African person in South Africa is enjoying and living a better life. I understand in South Africa, the economy is not that balanced enough. There are people who are really rich in South Africa, and there are people who are really poor in South Africa. The system is not benefiting ordinary people. So if you're poor in South Africa, you continue to be poor. And at least, you know, if you are really hardworking, maybe things can change for you. Everywhere in the world, people, you are hardworking, things can change. But in an environment whereby the economy cannot respond to hard work, it's just a waste of time, like the case with Malawi, whereby if you really work very hard, the economy is not going to respond to you. So like hard work is not corresponding to the benefits that you can have due to the input of the sweat as you're working very hard to change your life. So make sure that we build the economy whereby it can provide back to you with the benefits because you're really working very hard. The output that comes because of your hard work should be equal to the amount of the work that you provide for you to be better. But this is all about making the economy to do that. Like rewarding people because they're working very hard, paying more money to people who are really working very hard. That's very important. That's number one important thing that we should achieve in this country. But we should also achieve the level whereby the wage or the salaries should be equal in this nation. Like it doesn't matter you are coming from a rich family or a poor family, you're coming from an educated family or not educated family, but the way we get paid, it must be equal to the cost of living in this country. Not because of the qualification or experience, whereby if somebody is very qualified, will be having a lot of salaries, while somebody who's not qualified will never be having a lot of salaries, will be very small salaries, and the cost of living in Malawi is very high. The cost of living in Malawi is not for the poor person. The cost of living in Malawi is for the rich people. So if I'm receiving 100,000 Malawi, which is not enough for me to live in this country, I'll better die and stuff like that. And the government is very lazy to make sure that the cost of living is equal in this country, because they always make Malawians work very hard on the garden. Think like whenever they have the use, that's enough to cushion the cost of living in this country. No, that's not fine. Make sure that is this year in, year out. Like, you know, it should be all equal in this nation, whereby the cost of living should be cushioned by the government system that was put in place to make sure that Malawians are getting paid enough. Salaries should be equal to the cost of living, even better than that, right? Because the country can only develop if Malawians have been economically empowered. So wages should be equal to the cost of living. How much are Malawians looking for in terms of wages? I think if people are being paid 1 million Malawi every month, that could be demanding too much. But let's give Malawians 500,000 every month, so that they can be able to live and survive and have a better living standard in this country, which will modernize our people in this country, whereby if a person who's receiving 500,000 Malawi cannot be any more poor, like the case which is currently, whereby somebody is receiving 50,000 every month, and it's not even enough, and he has got costs which is of 700,000 Malawi every month, or 200 or 300,000 Malawi every month. Is getting 50,000 every month. That's not fine. We can't develop like that. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Hanik on Hans TV. Until I come back with another video, have a very good day. Bye-bye.